Hi programmers. So in this video, I want to walk through two things with you guys. First thing is, what's the differences between writing instructions in void setup and void draw? Okay, and we're also going to explore what we talked about in class earlier today, which was how an image is put together and then displayed onto the screen. Okay, so first off, point number one. We can have a look at our program first. Right, we got a canvas size, we have a background that's black, and then we have a red rectangle displayed at these coordinates here with a size of 200 and 100. Okay, essentially what we see over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more instruction here. I'm going to add a background instruction. So I've copy and pasted background. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this color to green. So in setup, we have a background that's black. In void draw, we have a background that's green. Let's save that. Okay, and I've reloaded, and we have a background that's green. Okay, and I want you guys to watch very carefully what happens when I do another reload. Okay, so that was quite fast. I don't know if you noticed, but when you click reload, that very moment, just after you click reload, the screen flashes to black for just a moment before it's covered again in green. Okay, and you might be thinking, what's going on? Why does it do that? Why is there that flash of black? Okay, so I'm just going to investigate a little bit further with you guys. I'm going to make the setup color red. I'm going to save this. Okay, so now I don't know if you notice again, we have that little flash where it's red. Okay, I'm just going to do reload. Okay, and as long as I keep reloading it, you can see that it flashes red for just a moment. If I hold on to the reload button, it actually stays as red permanently because I'm always reloading the computer. Okay, so what we should be able to conclude from what we observe here is that setup happens when we load up our web page. Okay, and then what happens is void draw happens after void setup. Okay, so despite that we have two different backgrounds here, okay, it draws red first, then it continuously draws the green background on top of the red background. Right. So now the second thing we want to look at is how an image is put together and displayed onto the screen. Okay, so one of the things we looked at today was outputting mouse X onto our screen. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the setup stuff just to avoid any confusions there. So we have a green background. We have some red text on top of it. Okay, we see that when I move my mouse horizontally, if I move it to the left, that X value decreases. If I move it to the right, that X value increases. Okay, that's because the number here is representing the X position or coordinate of my mouse. Okay, and you might ask yourself, well, why did we look at those background differences there? Why did we have to put background here in void draw? Why couldn't we put in setup? Okay, so let's investigate that just a little bit further. Save that. Okay, and now we can see that with background inside of void setup, okay, we have this jumble of garbage, of gibberish there. Okay, but whenever I reload my computer, it will always have a value of 0. Okay, and when I move my mouse down, okay, it's taking on different values. Okay, so the reason why that's happening is this background color of green is only painted on once. Okay, and all the instructions down here, the rectangle and the position or coordinate of the mouse, is continuously being redrawn, but it's only being redrawn on the green background, which was only existed once. Okay. When we move that instruction down here, okay, what it's telling the computer is, first off, if we look back at instruction, it'll paint it green. Okay, so whatever number that was here, it actually wipes out the entire screen, like having a big paintbrush. It covers it all with green. Then, and only then after that, after it's erased everything, then it puts a red rectangle on top of that. And of course, we also have the coordinate of our mouse on top of that as well. Okay, so that's why by moving the instruction down here, it's like having a clear background. Okay, it's like having a new sheet of paper, and then if we're writing a new number onto a sheet of paper over here on this side, if we don't use a new sheet of paper, we're going to keep on writing on top of that spot, and eventually we won't be able to see anything. Okay, the last little bit is, why does the order matter? Okay, why can't we put background down here, you might ask? Okay, so we can see the result of that is that, the result tells us we can't do that. But why is it happening? What's going on? Okay, so this has to do, we're at the last part here of point number 2, which is how an image is put together and displayed onto the screen. What happens is the computer will draw all of these things together. Okay, it puts all these things together as one whole image, and then and only then, after it's put all these instructions together as one single image, does that get shown onto the screen. So since the very last instruction here was to wipe everything out with green, that's the only thing that prevails or shows up onto our screens. Okay, so that's the proper way of doing it, is this builds an image, green paper or green background first, wipe everything out that was there before it, draw the red rectangle, then put the coordinate of the mouse. Save that, reload.